Are you going to lock someone or something in your car and need to turn your alarm off? Or maybe you're about to travel on one of these and need to switch the alarm off for a ferry. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Nick O'Leary, and today we're looking at just that, how to switch off your interior motion sensor and a thing called towaway protection, also known as the exterior alarm. And if you wait to the very end, there's a little kind of shortcut, almost like a hidden tip and trick on how to access these functions faster. So first up, why? Why would you need to turn your alarm off? Well, quite simply, your Mercedes-Benz has two alarms, one for the interior to detect movement on the inside and to alert in the event of a theft. However, as it is quite sensitive to movement, you'll probably want to deactivate this if you leave a pet in the car, or if you were to lock anyone in the car while, I don't know, for example, you went to the shops. Of course, the usual safety points: make sure you don't leave a dog in the car during hot days, as the interior of a car can become extremely hot. And the second is the exterior. For example, if someone is about to tow the car away, or if you're about to travel on a ferry, the boat's movement could set the alarm off. Or if you are transporting the car, it may be best to turn off both to prevent any unnecessary triggers. Now, as always guys, this does vary from model to model, so I'll try to cover all the variations in this video today. However, if you do get stuck, just get in touch with your local Mercedes-Benz retailer, who will be able to give you personalised instructions on how to do it on your own car. So then guys, to determine how to do this on your car, have a look at your dashboard, but more specifically, have a look next to your centre mirror up here. Now, in most modern cars, there is an SOS button, and either side of that, you'll find the buttons to turn the alarm off. Now, don't worry if you're looking at your car and you don't see those buttons there. Some cars, you can turn the alarm off using the screen in the middle, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. But just to show you how to do it in this one, on the left-hand side, there's a picture of a car with kind of some wavy lines in the middle. This is the interior motion sensor, of course, if you're going to lock anyone in the car or any pets or that sort of thing. On the right-hand side is towaway protection. That's for the exterior alarm, just in case the car is nudged or hit, or say you went onto a boat or something like that and the kind of boat was moving with the waves. That is the one you want to turn off for the exterior. So to do these, quite simply, as you're about to get out, and when you open your door and of course all your ignition's off and everything, just tap the button as you leave and the red light will flash a few times to say the alarm is now off. Of course, the left one for the interior motion sensor and then the right one for the towaway protection, which is the exterior alarm. Now, don't worry if your Mercedes-Benz doesn't have those buttons either side for the SOS button, you'll actually be turning off using the screen in the middle of the car. So using the wheel, if you press the home button and scroll across to a section that says vehicle, go into here and find a thing that says vehicle settings. And then in here you'll find the relevant buttons, towaway protection and interior motion sensor. Again, for this example, I've got them unticked. Ticked means they are on, and when they are unticked, it means it's off. But just remember, by the time that you've unlocked the car and started again, they'll default back to on anyway. And last but not least is for anyone who has MBUX with that famous "Hey Mercedes" voice assistant, and there she is right on cue. I'm going to press the back button just to turn her off for the moment. But most importantly, the alarms for this car are in a similar place, but they're actually found in the settings menu, which is on the far right hand side. So if we go into this, you'll immediately be presented with a thing called the quick access menu. Now in here you can clearly see on the bottom left, that is the interior motion sensor, so you can toggle this on and off just like this. And then the right hand side there, you can see the car with the hook, that's the towaway protection. So a little bit easier than the other one, but I do have a little tip and trick for owners of MBUX and COMAND. Now, one would argue that the first method, the one with the buttons in the roof, is actually the easiest out of all of them, because you just press the button as you leave. But Mercedes have thought of that, and they allow you to actually assign these two buttons to a thing called the favorites menu. Now, I have made a dedicated video on the favorites menu, so if you wanted to know more about that, that is the star on the steering wheel and the star located just down here. So I'll link that up above if you want to know more about that. But you can actually assign the interior motion sensor and the towaway protection kind of toggles on and off to that favorites menu. So to access this, all you do is press the star and you'll see in this menu turbo protection and interior motion sensor, among a few other things. Now I know most people use this favourites menu for the sat-nav destinations like your home or work or places you might visit, but you can put these two toggles in here for the turbo protection and interior motion sensor. So just to show you how easy it is, say you're driving along, come to a stop and you're parked up and you want to turn the alarm off, tap the star, and then you can turn off the interior motion sensor just like that in literally less than 5 seconds. So that is a very, very quick workaround for models of COMAND and MBUX. And just to cover all bases, just in case you have deleted all the shortcuts in your favourites menu, don't worry, you can actually reset it back to default. So on the very, very top right hand corner, go to your profile selector where it says your name or the word guest, and then go to the relevant profile that you want to modify. So if you see here, this says guest at the moment. If I go to the menu button with the kind of dots across, you can actually reset the favourites to factory settings, then you can get those buttons back, just in case you deleted them. And there we go guys, that concludes this week's video on how to turn off the alarms for your Mercedes-Benz for the interior and of course the exterior as well. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Use that section and let me know if you have any suggestions for any future content you'd like to see on my channel. But as always, huge shout out to Sandown Mercedes-Benz, as they help provide access to all these awesome cars you see in the video, so it'd be very tricky to do it without them. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next week, Friday 4 PM, see you then.